how you can find your perfect crew to go sailing with.
Sailing Virgins. Yeah.
Salut, ça va?
Hello, brother.
How you doing?
Good, man.
Se la tiras al que te guste más.
Mucho calor, ¿no?
Salud. Salud. Cheers.
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 Salut.
Maybe I'll run this forward.
Hi, I'm James.
I'm Jack.
We're Sailing Virgins. We're here in Martinique. We're coming up the channel. We've got some friends with us, so we want to introduce them to you.
And today we're going to be talking about how you can find your perfect crew to go sailing with.
Yeah, so we've got two skipper brothers and we've got one of their crews. And so we're just gonna do a bit of question and answer and that sort of thing as we're sailing up. So, join in. So we have here John and Hugo. We've all four of us have sailed for the Yacht Week in Greece and Croatia.
Yep.
And yeah, so we've got a long way back. And John has his crew here on his boat. So they've all joined us today. And yeah, we're gonna have a sail and talk about points to making the best crew possible. Okay, John's crew. So, can you say your name and where you're from, and that'll be your introduction.
Hi, my name is Eileen, I'm from Germany, and I'm happy to join John's crew, and it's for me the first time that I am sailing.
I'm Zach, I'm from New York, and I'm here just to have an adventure, take a break from working.
Hey, I'm Max, I'm from Austria, and I'm here to learn sailing.
Hey, I'm Skylar, I'm here for sailing, and water makes me happy, and from Colorado.
Hello, I'm Pascal from Switzerland, and I'm here to end my trip and to go back to Europe on boat.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a bunch of questions and we'll try and eke out like the ideal crew.
Got it.
When do you know that, oh, I've got a great crew? Like, what's the signs that happens?
I would say it's when they don't need you, you're an addition.
For me, it's two factors. The first dinner check or the first lunch check, how they do as a group, you know, are they able to split it? Is everyone angry at each other right afterwards? Like how they interact as a group, especially with money. And then the other one is, are they offering to help? Like not the same person every single time, but like as a group, are they like, hey, you know, do you need us to help you with anything?
Even if it's nothing much, it's just like, oh, do you mind, just doing the dishes, or do you mind just grabbing those fenders in for me? Or it's really good when people see it as like, yeah, the skipper is the experienced one who's going to sail the boat from A to B, but we're in this as like a team. I think the team sort of aspect is really a really important sort of feeling.
What about like music and stuff?
No EDM before 2?
Yeah.
Before 12? EDM at 9 AM does not work for most skippers.
And if they do it, I play like music in the morning. When when I'm
relaxed
sailing.
music.
Yeah. And then crank it in the evening, no worries.
Yeah. No, the only rules are generally, as a crew, you guys have to agree with the music. Like, we don't want to get into iPod wars or anything like that. And then, of course, you know, docking, you want to turn it down so you can hear each other. And then in the marina, you try and enforce the no music after 10 or 11, depending on the local culture. And of course, you try and constantly turn it down so they don't blow out the speakers on the first hour.
That's a really responsible approach. I wish I could enforce this.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying I can enforce it.
That was actually perfect.
Textbook. And what about food? Any what do your great crews do?
Please don't buy only Pringles.
Yeah,
I had like several crew that were like eating only Pringles all week.
Yeah, and also you cannot buy 500 euros worth of ice cream. A boat will not keep ice cream.
What about money and kiddies or slush funds or whatever?
Organising, splitting the bill, and if some people are on a completely different budget, the rest of them know that, and they know they're not going to split the bill equal ways, and that's going to be fine. And
Yeah, any style is fine as long as it's discussed
Clear.
before.
As long as it's clear.
Definitely found that a strong lead booker is able to guide the crew better than like a skipper or a hostess is able to. And then expectation management from the start. Like, hey guys, this is about how much we'll need a day. You know, this is so I don't have to wake you up and you know, to get $5 to get ice.
What about tips? I mean, I know we skippers, we never talk about that. So, you know, I brought it up for the first time ever, right?
The yachting industry is a tipping industry. It is a service industry.
So what's a tip that we would give crews if they want to be a good crew? A tip for tips. What should it be? If you're happy with your skip and you know that skip's done a good job, because that's a question we get asked a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 10 to 15%
Of the booking.
Of the booking.
Of the booking fee.
Yeah, it's a service industry. One of the reasons being is because the pay is low. The analogy being an American restaurant where the staff gets paid very, very low, and the expectation is tips make up the difference. And that's the reality of the industry. The wages are low.
What else would you have in terms of, we're talking about crews and like ultimate crews, what other things would you consider?
Too many guys, too many girls. You don't want a sausage fest. Generally a 50-50 mix is what works best for what I've seen.
Open-minded people who are willing to, you know, to learn about other people and are able to like deal with confined space.
And don't be afraid of traveling with people you've never met before. Some of my absolute best crews that I've ever had have been complete strangers from one another.
Cool. Anything else?
Come on a sailing trip and be open-minded. Every single day you'll have challenges. Nothing is like the real world, but it's just the experience as a whole. It's unreal.
Be flexible because the weather gets a say. I'll just say that. You know,
absolutely.
We still do not control the ocean as much as we'd like to.
You know, friendship that you make like this on boats are really often different. It's just something that lots of people
special.
don't.
It's thicker.
You in any harbor stuff, eventually at some point, because sailing boats are slow and you don't go where you want, but you end up in having some drinks with your friends that you haven't seen since a year. And it's fine. He's sailing over there. He's going so. I'm doing so.
Guys, let's give 1 point each on advice for crews wanting to be awesome crews. So my advice would be generous. It's your holiday, so just enjoy that.
Just be flexible. Don't try to stick to one set plan. Things are always changing, especially on sailboats, so be flexible.
Communications, lead booker talks skipper, skipper talks crew, everyone comes together as a group and decides what they want to do.
And yeah, just have fun. Go sailing.
Should we crack open a beer?
Yes.
Awesome. There we go. Cheers, fellas.
Salut. Cheers. Good to catch up. Sante.
So thanks for doing this.
I know.
What made you guys want to do this in the first place, and how did you sort of find John and all that sort of thing?
Found the crew online. It's a little. So the things I was looking for is like someone who was near the same age group, because it would just be infinitely more fun. Not because it wouldn't be fun to sail with older people, but it's just more. You're in the same same demographic and like maybe mindset, or kind of like doing the same things. You can go out to the bar together. You can go hang out. You can have dinner like we did last night in a different fashion. And then someone obviously you could learn from. And then it's just dumb luck that you get a sweet boat to be on, because like honestly it was like the boat was not the most important thing. It was like who, and then where, and then to learn.
Most of you didn't know each other, right?
None of us did.
Okay. So what were you looking for in your crew and in your skipper? What was like? Let's start with the crew. What were you sort of hoping to find?
I was looking less at the crew, I suppose, than the skipper.
I was the same way too. Like, we could have connected more on Facebook and everything before, but I didn't want to ruin the moment, because you can see somebody's social media and you get an impression of them, and then you meet and it's completely different. John is like reliable, like, had a ton of sailing experience, which for me was important because I crewed on some boats that the skipper, the boat owner, was just like some crazy dude. And I guess from the crew you have to just hope and expect that everybody's considerate, because different personalities, you'll be here for like 3 months, you know you're gonna have to get along, and so as long as everyone's considerate and can give a little, you know, I think that's the most important thing. These guys, we got family now.
Yeah.
More about this guy, more about your skipper. What were you sort of hoping for to find in your skipper?
And I think you should look for a skipper that wants you to learn. It's not like the person who comes to the boat wants to learn, so it should be also the other way around.
And what about things like music, food, like money as a group, like any tips that you'd give to other crews?
It's just that I think we understand each other perfectly in that regard also. We like to cook, we like healthy stuff, we go shopping, we all agree on everything we are buying. There are never questions.
Plus, having dinner together is also kind of group experience. So it's also like a social event every evening, when people cook for more people, talking to each other, hanging around with each other, making plans for the next day, reflecting the day before maybe.
Yeah.
So I would say it's really important to have dinner together, to do social things except of sailing and working together, also having some private life, sharing these moments. That makes it special, I would say.
Looking at the expenses, we keep on telling to each other when we realize where we actually are right now, on such a luxurious boat in the middle of the Caribbean. Like, we all wouldn't be able to afford that in any way, you know, and this is a great thanks to John, our skipper. He brought us here, he makes this all possible for us. So it will be difficult to explain this to our friends back home. It will be difficult for anyone to believe that this is possible.
Sailing on a boat means that every day is different. There's also like household things. Of course, you have to wash the dishes, prepare food, wash the clothes, do the laundry, etc. And also cleaning the boat. I mean, there's lots of salt water, so everything has to be prepared for anchoring, or after anchoring you're going to clean the boat. So it's not just laying in the sun relaxing. It is also, but it's also a bit of work, which is also kind of cool, interesting.
And if anyone is at home and looking at us and thinking, wow, would that be nice? Don't think too much, just go and try. Yeah, go and try.
That was good.
Cheers. So, what does that all boil down to? Here's a bit of a summary.
Right, so we want people with a sense of music that they can all enjoy. We've got people with complementary sailing skills. We've got a mix of sexes.
Yep. Yeah, food-wise, you want to be able to eat similar things or eat out together or whatever.
Just a sense of adventure and people that are empathetic with each other. So we've got a full list of 7 of those items on the blog, which is you can link to on the summary. And if you like this, please like it, please subscribe, it really helps us a lot.
Helps us a lot.
Thanks a lot, and see you next episode.
Sailing Virgins!
Yeah!